Hello, it's Valentine's Day. Can you see all my hearts here? Now, I don't know what you think about Valentine's Day, but seeing all those hearts everywhere, I think it's a really great opportunity to stop and think about the best love of all, which is God's love. Now, at Family Together at 4 last week, we looked at the verse in Ephesians that says God's love is so wide, so long, so high, and so deep. And that's the truth, isn't it? God shows us and he tells us all the time that he loves us. He's written it down in the Bible. He's written down about his love for us. So he's told us when the Bible was written. He tells us today. And he shows us his love for us all the time, doesn't he? Beautiful creation. He sent Jesus to show us just how much he loves us. Jesus died and rose again as a sign of God's love. So God's telling us about all his love all the time. He's showing us his love all the time, which is just precious. But I don't know about you, but do you ever have a wobble about that? Like my wobbly glass of water here. Do you ever have a wobble on a day when you think, oh, would God really love me? But I messed up. Oh, I did something wrong. I said something horrible to that person. I wonder if God's still going to love me when I do that? But what's the truth? God's love for us is never ending. He sent Jesus to die for us so that when we do sin and we come to him for forgiveness, we can be forgiven. So we can hold on to that love and trust in that love and trust in God's love for us. So here we are. We need to remember, even when we're having a wobble, the truth of God's word is that his love for us lasts forever, never lets us go. So let's put this on here. Okay, so we can trust that God's word tells us that his love for us is so wide, so high, so long and so deep, and nothing can separate us from that love. So let's see then. Am I going to trust, a little bit what fell out then, in God's love? How much am I going to trust in his love? Where could I put this now just to, I'll take my hand off and see what happens. Am I going to trust in that love? Am I going to trust in it enough to put it on top of my head? No, I'm not going to do that, am I? What, you want me to? You want me to hold this above my head? Okay, let's give it a go. To bend down a bit so you can still see. So I'm trusting in God's love for me, what's written in the Bible about how much he loves me. Oh, brilliant. Thankfully that worked. How am I going to put that into practice though? How am I going to remember every day about God's love? Well, Jo said something brilliant the other day, didn't she? She talked about taking God's word and breathing it in and breathing it out. So I've been trying to do that. So I've got some verses around my mirror, as you can see. One of them says, God says his love goes on forever. His love is everlasting. So you might want to try it now. Let's take a moment. We can just, as we breathe in, we say, your love for me lasts forever. God, your love for me lasts forever. Your love for me lasts forever. Why don't you take some time this week to find God's truths in his word and breathe them in and breathe them out. Put them on your mirror. Hold them. Hold on to them. Declare them. Have a great week.